welcome to another thrilling episode of Prog Review. And today, whoa, yeah, not going to like this. Well, some of you will and some of you won't. But I'm finally got through listening to Pink Floyd's The Later Years box set. Maybe that could be this could be the thumbnail. What do you reckon? Oh, it's heavy. Yeah, I'm going to put on the screen, right? I'm going to put on the screen the recommended retail price in pounds sterling, so that any of you out there that say this is a great box set can then divert your eyes to the actual cost of the box set, the true cost, the true value, the value that the record company and Pink Floyd signed off on, and then, you know, it's been lowered, isn't it? There's been discounts, but that was the true cost of this box set, and I want you to look at that, okay? To, you know, kind of cool your ardour, you know, to calm your aggression, because I know a lot of people they don't like it when I make these videos, and I'm not, you know, this is great. Why did you buy this if you didn't like it? Yeah, I'm just going to park that one there, because if you can't figure out why that statement is inherently stupid, then you really ought to probably go and see someone, you know, in the brain department. Can help you out. But anyway, this is the latest box set in the Pink Floyd series. We had the early years before, which again, it wasn't perfect, very expensive, a bit of an oddity. I had issues with it, you know. Yeah, again, and then now we have this one, the later years, and in between we've had the immersion sets, which again, and don't forget that wretched Division Bell, was it 20th anniversary edition, and all these box sets seem to, I don't know, they're always a bit problematic to me, and I don't, there's never been a perfect Pink Floyd box set, apart from maybe the Oh By The Way set, which had all the artwork properly done, but there's always an issue, and I'm always left, you know, upset and annoyed, or more disappointed, probably because of the cost and the missed opportunities, and this is no exception. Firstly, the cost is ridiculous and prohibitively expensive to those, again, younger folk who want this stuff. They're never going to get it. It's for those old folk. It's for the, dare I say it, the boomers out there. Okay, boomer, who, you know, who have their pension and can afford sets like this. But that again, we put the cost to one side. We look at what's in the actual box. Now, for me, the CDs are largely irrelevant, because there's you've got the Blu-ray. Oh, there's so many ways of coming at this. This is where I should write a script, but I can't be bothered with all that nonsense, because I can just speak at you, can't I? I can just verbiage at you. So we have the CD. So you've got Momentary Lapse of Reason Updated and Remixed, Delicate Sound of Thunder Remixed, live recordings, Nebworth. Again, this is all duplicate stuff, all duplicated. You have no need for it, because there is a superior Blu-ray edition if we need that. The same way as we don't need the DVD editions either. We just go for the Blu-rays, alright? We do the Blu-rays. They could have packaged this with a Blu-ray player and still made it a lot cheaper. So what I'm going to concentrate on the Blu-ray side of things, because a lot of what I say here filters back up to the CDs. Is that okay? I have listened to all of this, I've absorbed it, and I'm sick of Pink Floyd now. Thank you very much. So it starts off with the Blu-ray. The first Blu-ray in the set is the surround sound mixes and high resolution stereo mixes. This is what I mean about duplication, because the stereo mixes are also on the Blu-ray. You don't need the CDs. Starts up with Momentary Lapse of Reason Updated and Remixed. Again, I'm not sure why it needed to be updated and remixed, but they do these things. Again, some bands, when they remix stuff, it's usually because the stuff was recorded in the 70s and recording equipment wasn't as good, and so they've wiped a layer of grime on it. I'm always a bit dubious in any albums that are recorded in the 80s, you know, when recording equipment was superior. to what had gone before. You know, there's really very little point in remixing and whatever, but they've done it here. And I think again, when that album was originally recorded, you know, Richard Wright, again, he wasn't even meant to be on it, as I remember it. The infamous picture of them together in the promotional material was actually, it was Davy Boy Gilmour and Nick Mason together, and they composited Richard Wright in, because I think again there was some doubt he was actually going to be on the album. So yeah, we have a remix in order to add some of his contributions to it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily it's a startling, you know, wow, you've never heard anything like it before. It was pleasant enough. The surround sound is okay. Again, of this set, it was, I hadn't heard this surround sound mix before. It was okay, but I think some of the power, and again, some albums are just of the time, and for me, Motortrap's a Reason, it has a certain 80s flavour to it, has a certain, you know, distinction, probably because of the use of drum machines and, you know, stuff like that. It's of its time, and I think when you take that away and you kind of modernise it, you lose some of the soul and the heart of the album. And yeah, it's great, it's nice, it's pleasant, and, you know, it's a fine surround sound mix, but it doesn't necessarily feel like the same record to me. It's, you know, there's certain punches that, you know, that are missing, that are lessened, certain emotional bits that you think, okay, you know, that's just me, that's just my opinion. You may see it differently, you may see it as an amazing transformation, you know, and that's fine. I'm just giving it from where I'm coming from. I didn't get the point of it. There was nothing, it wasn't radical enough for me to go, I understand why they needed to do this. Then you have the Division Bell 2014 mix. I'd already heard this because there was a surround sound mix in the 20th anniversary edition on Blu-ray. There's also a DVD edition which I've got. It was a separate release. So I'd already heard this before. Yeah, it's good. The only other thing was some unreleased tracks from 1994 Division Bell recordings, and again, some of these lend themselves to the Endless River. And talking of the Endless River, of course, High Hope's early version is also included in that, which is, again, is one of the buying points. You know, that's worth it. It's worth getting it for that one track. But you'd have got the Highlights album. But yeah, so they do this Blu-ray and they collect those. But why didn't they put Endless River on there? I don't know. Maybe because there is an Endless River movie, or whatever you want to call it, later on in the set, but we'll get to that. Blu-rays of Delicate Sound of Thunder and DVD. Again, don't need the DVD, we have the Blu-ray. This has been re-edited. Again, I think it was on 35mm film, so they've scanned the film, re-edited it, and it looks lovely, it looks great. But, you know, that's it. That's the only real new thing, you know, again, a radically new thing that you're buying it for. You get to see more of the band, as you know, you see more, you see who plays what, and that's quite interesting. You see that, you know, Gilmour doesn't play as much guitar as you thought he did, and Richard Wright doesn't play as much keyboard as you thought he did. You know, Nick Mason has his backup percussionist and drummer. You know, so you get to see more of that. I think before it was edited more sympathetically to Gilmour, Mason and Wright. Now it's a bit more of an open band performance, which was interesting. Yeah, sounds great, looks great. If you loved it originally, you're going to love it again now. And then you have Pulse. They say it's restored and re-edited. I don't know what it's been restored from. I think it just looked like it had been maybe digitally cleaned and upscaled. I put my DVD of it on. That reminds me, I need to look at something on the back. Does it tell you? Yeah, it's NTSC. And this is what I thought, because my Pulse is PAL and this is NTSC, and my Pulse looks better, you know, because it looks better. Even though it's DVD quality and it's not quite as sharp, it's not quite as, you know, it's a little bit jaggy compared to this, it's still feels, but there's something felt off about it. And now I realise now it's because it's on NTSC, which stands for not the same colour. That's an engineering joke for those of you who like that kind of thing. So yeah, again, you don't need it on DVD, or maybe you do. Maybe it just needs to be DVD, not Blu-ray. I think Blu-ray was overkill because they've not. I think it's not been rescanned from film or anything. It just looks kind of meh. It's not as incredible transformation as the Delicate Sound of Thunder film. And then the real disappointment for me was the Venice and Nebworth concert. I may have actually called it the Vienna concert in the previous video, the unboxing, because brain fart. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm old and stupid, you know that. You keep telling me that, don't you? In the comments. Very rude words. Very block. Delete and block. But yeah, the Venice performance has significance to me because it was on the TV. I videoed it. I've still got the recording and I have it on the hard drive. And yeah, it's a little bit better, but I was hoping it had been fully restored. I was hoping it'd look a lot better. Not a surround sound mix, not even a pseudo surround sound mix. It's just what it is. But you do get the full version. So, you know. And then Nebworth, which again looks like it's been taken from the VHS. Do you need it on Blu-ray? No, a DVD release would have sufficed. And then we have the music videos, which again, Blu-ray DVD. Yeah, it was nice. I hadn't seen the alternate version of Learning to Fly. I hadn't seen that before, which was interesting. There's some extra bits edited into it. It was good to see Take It Back again, because I like that one. And High Hopes. Again, Take It Back I don't think was restored, whereas High Hopes, again, it's all whether or not they've been made on film and on video, whereas I think Take It Back was a video, and it still looks a bit scratchy, you know, whereas High Hopes looks fantastic, and so does Learning to Fly. And then you have the various bonus tracks from Delicate Sound of Thunder. Excuse me, that's the doorbell. Won't be a moment. Wasn't for me, it was for the neighbours. But yeah, you get Delicate Sound of Thunder bonus tracks. Again, you wonder why wasn't that put as a bonus on the Blu-ray DVD of that, but it's tucked away on here. Tour Rehearsal from '94, and then you get the concert screen films. They love putting these things on. Again, should have been an option on Delicate Sound of Thunder that you could maybe access the screen films, you know. That's what they're there for, but it's just... and they're a bit... I find them a bit odd out of context. It just, you know, they've been better off as you press a button on the DVD and then you can see the full film. You get me? But they don't do things like that now. They give it to you separately on a Blu-ray to make you think you've got extra value when really you haven't. And the same thing with the 1994 concert screen films. And then there's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction with Billy Corgan. I do wish you were here. That's interesting. Then we have the final disc of Blu-rays, which is Documentaries, Unreleased Material. We have the Syd Barrett concert, the tribute concert from 2007. They do a very loose Arnold Lane, which is interesting. Various documentaries, Moments to Lapse of Reason, cover shoot, Division Bell cover shoot, Pulse TV ad. The Endless River film by Ian Eames. Now Ian Eames did the some of the concert screen films for the band back in the day, and it's like a giant student film. So it's the album with 3 people running around and I don't know, running through forests and running by the water, by the coast. It's what happens when you've got no budget and a camera and 3 people that you are probably doing it for their own show reel. It's cheap. I just didn't think it was particularly interesting, but I sat through it because I did it for you guys, so you didn't have to do it. I thought it was boring. And like I said, we've got more documentaries, Momentary Lapse of Reason, cover shoot. That's with all the all the beds and talking about that. Division Bell airships, where they, yeah, behind the scenes of Division Bell tour, Sid Barrett tribute concert rehearsals, and Endless River launch event and electronic press kit. Yeah, that was worth it. And then you got the singles, and then, which again you go, why do we need these? Why do we need 2 7-inch singles? Why? They're just stuff. And that's without all the memorabilia, and you know what I think about that. It's overdone. The whole package is overdone, overblown, overvalued, and there is a good box set in here somewhere trying to get out, but Pink Floyd just, I don't know, obsessed with money and greed, and trying to make very little content go a long way, and that's what we have here. There's no way you can, frame it anywhere else. Remember, look at the number on the screen, folks. This was originally retail price of £429. And I think they've got a fucking brass neck on doing it. I think it's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourselves. In different times, this would have been put together as maybe £130 box set, completely repackaged. Like my original idea was to have a book with the art book and the tour. You could replicate the tour programs and lyrics and whatnot in a hardback book with the discs, inside, in a sleeve, and it would have been a much more cohesive set. And you don't need you either fall towards DVD or Blu-ray. Again, some people like DVD, some people like Blu-ray. CDs are largely irrelevant. They could have put in, I don't know, a download code or a USB stick with the WAV files on. That would have made it unique. But, I think CDs are largely irrelevant in this instance because there's so much duplication of the material. If you've got it on Blu-ray, you don't need it on DVD, you don't need it on CD. And if you want to argue with me about that, you're wrong. You've already lost, because the Blu-ray has it in the highest resolution. We can agree on that. Maybe we can't. And there's, like I said, there's stuff that's missing. Oh God, I did think of something earlier and I've forgotten it now. Somebody said there was the Nick Mason driving. Was it the Pan America driving movie that he did, and that could have been included because I think there was a soundtrack done for that. That was omitted. Oh God, what was it I thought of? I thought of something that they could have included. Oh dear. Oh, it doesn't matter. It couldn't have been that important because I would have remembered it by now. I'll remember it when I stop recording. But yeah, they really do make very little material go a long way. I say, why wasn't the Endless River included as a surround sound mix? Even though it's duplication, even though some people might not have got it the first time around on surround sound. You just think that it could have been done better. There's a whiff of whipping a dead horse on this one, really flogging it, flogging the old dead horse on this. And it's a great shame, and it just makes you just so sick and annoyed of these sets because the people that want these sets necessarily can't afford them, and even when you get them, you're going to play them once, you're going to put them back on the shelf, and that's just about it. So I'm hoping that they do eventually split the set, and we'll be able to get the Blu-rays again. Imagine it if they just put the Blu-rays in a little slipcase and sold them for £60. Result, bingo, they'd have sold more of them, wouldn't they? Everyone would have been happy. There would have been an alternative for us people that balk at the suggestion of spending £429 on this nonsense, and it is. And if you want to argue with me, you are so wrong when you look at what other people do. Other bands, they give you more for half the price or a third of the price. You get me? And this is ridiculous. And there's so much duplication, not just the CDs, in the artwork, in the booklets. You go, oh, here we go. I've seen that before, There is very little new. And so, this falls into a very rare category where I give it zero lost for words out of 5. 0 lost for words out of 5. You would have to be an A grade moron to pay for this, to buy this, and you know. But like I say, my copy's already out of the door. It is gone. It is dealt with. I do this as a warning to other people. You know, again, if you're actually good and you're flush for it, fair do, good for you. But if you're thinking about, oh, you know, there's so many things you could do for £429 or whatever price they've got it up for, it's still too expensive. 130 quid. That's what I'd say. 130 quid. That's what you're looking at. It's like what a rip-off the Division Bell 20th was. Complete rip-off. Seriously, I do question the value judgments. Whoever's behind this, if it is the band or the management or the record company, you've got to wonder what they were thinking. You know, how this was ever a good idea. It was never a good idea. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to dislike this video, because there will be people who will get their boxes in a bunch and get all uptight and angry without actually thinking about what they're saying, without actually taking time to actually think, yeah, he's right. £429. That is a lot of money for some discs and some paper. That is a lot of money. And before you say, oh yeah, but they re-edited Delicate Sound of Thunder. Yeah, so did Peter Gabriel with his Athens gig. Scanned the film, put it on Blu-ray for 15 quid. So, yeah. And Pink Floyd are bigger than Peter Gabriel, okay? They've missed the mark here. They could have done this so much better. And again, you're going to see a lot of this uploaded on YouTube, because that's what they did with the early years set. A lot of the video content for that was up on YouTube, which immediately makes you think, why the hell did I throw my money at them when you're just going to throw the content away, you know, for free? That's what it is worth. It's worth free. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name's been Darren Rock. There's only one more thing to say, and that is don't buy this box set. But more importantly, prog on.